Because, you see, the problem is you're really wild at heart. You've been hurt by your dad, and you've been suppressing your wildness, or it's been coming out in wrong ways. So now if you'd really ask Jesus into your heart and really mean it, understanding that you are wounded, and let him heal your wound, then you'll be a happy Christian. You know what this is? This is the God-shaped hole message has failed, so now I need to tweak it for you and explain to you how you've done the asking Jesus into your heart thing all wrong. Mark from Florida? Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Todd? Good, great program. I'm from Florida. We just went through all this at our church in Winter Park, Florida, ostensibly a biblical church, but in our so-called School of Christian Growth, guess what we were studying on Wednesday night?
Tell me.
Among other things, the purpose-driven life, every man's battle, and wild at heart concurrently. There was not one biblical class to be offered other than the eschatology class that I was teaching.
And how full was your class, sir?
My class was very full.
Oh,
it had
great.
more than all the rest of the classes combined.
Oh, that's so great. That's very encouraging. See,
Yeah.
I think people, they want the meat. I think more people are starting to see through this stuff, and that it's thin and that it does not really fill up their purpose.
That's right. You see, the sheep hear his voice and they follow him. If they really are sheep, they will hear his voice. They won't hear the voice of false prophets. But the thing is that our so-called director of adult education has never once mentioned the importance of the Word or studying the Word or getting into the Word. He's never mentioned it. And to me, that's a major red flag, which was going to cause us to leave that church. Because if the Word's not important, we have nothing to go to church for. Absolutely nothing.
Mark, I thank you very much for your phone call. You hang in there, dude. Keep teaching classes like that. 651-289-4499. Oh, Hain? Is that right? From Egan, likes the book. Shane. No, we're going to call him Hain because it's more manly. I don't care if he doesn't like it. Hain?
With Shane, but thanks anyway.
No, you're Hain now.
I appreciate it. You want me to growl or something?
If you could.
Now, I was kind of curious on two parts of it. One is, quite honestly, I thought you'd kind of be the poster child for this sort of thing. Given your show is a little more edgy and a little wilder, if you'll pardon the pun there, than other Christian-type shows. And it seems that the perspective has been that wild is, by definition, sinful or naughty. Is that where you're coming from?
Well, that's where I think I think that should be the premise. One of the points that I think that I'd like to make, Hain, is that we have to be more careful with our words. And you might hear this and you're thinking, oh no, you're splitting hairs, but no, we're talking about the salvation of a man's soul. And we should be very careful. And when we toss out a title even like Wild at Heart, and then encouraging us to be wild at heart, the Bible talks a lot about the heart and says that we have to look at it just the opposite way.
And I'd actually have to disagree with you on that one part where I didn't see this as a book about the salvation of my soul. In fact, I didn't see much at all in the book about my own personal salvation.
You're right. In fact, but I would also say this, though, Shane. If at the beginning of the book, John Eldredge even said, this book is for the born-again Christian, it would still drive me nutty. It would still, because first of all, it's bad theology. It's man-centered in its approach, and it confuses the correct teaching about our natures.
Now, I'll accept the part about being man-centered, but I didn't see it as a theological type book. By definition, I saw it more along the lines of, here is where things are in our society, that men are going more along the lines of being feminized.
Well, but see,
what do we do about it?
Shane, this is what I would love. If nothing else comes out of this program today, you know what I would love, and I think you would too? Mm-hmm. Is there a book out there that is a better treatise on that very thing you just talked about? Where is the line for a man in, still maintaining manly qualities, mm-hmm. and yet not cultivating the more wild, sinful side or rebellious or separate side from our wives? I agree. There's a feminization in society that is undeniable. But where is the line, then, for the Christian man?
And granted, you're right, this is not the end-all and be-all of it, but as far as I can tell, that's the first one that's gotten towards that even discussion.
You know what? Hey, Shane, we got to scoot. I appreciate your phone call very much. There was somebody, Bruce mentioned a book to me. It was by, hold on, I'm coming. Larry Crabb. And he said it was actually a pretty good treatise, and I can't think of the name of it. I'll work on it. 651-289-4499. Please call so I can hang up on you. Talk the Walk. AM 980 KKMS. More Spirited Talk Radio and Pete Bush in traffic. Let's see if we can sneak in a couple of phone calls quick. Mana, can you go really fast?
Yeah, I read it, and as a woman's point of view, I'm glad I was single when I read it. It was so bad from a woman's point of view that it was horrible. It's like, my Lord rescued me. I don't need a man to rescue me. I want a man to be a helpmate, not a rescuer.
Nice job, Mana. Very nice. Let's go to the phones to Corey. Hello, Corey. Corey. We lost Corey. Real quick from this book. The Messiah will come, he says, to bind up and heal, to release and set free. What? Your heart. Christ comes to restore and release you, your soul, the true you. If my true me were released, it would be a big ugly. This book should be called Selfish at Heart. What we need is a book called Obedient at Heart. Thanks, John, for False Teacher Tuesday on AM 980 KKMS. Until Witness Wednesday, go serve your King.